Yes. Here we go. People are coming in. We have some new members, and we have some good practice.
I've seen you before, Tanel.
Sorry, Eli?
New? Tanel is new.
Yes.
Yes,
You
Daniel
are.
will introduce himself. Yes.
Nice to see you. Welcome.
Yes. Hello.
Okay, let's see if we have. We forgot to to do the change, Eli. I didn't have much time this week. It was very crazy, but
Okay,
maybe next week we will change the meeting link. I hope everybody is joining here.
Definitely.
Let's wait a few seconds. Did I share my screen? Do you see my screen?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Just
I
admit.
see so many note takers and assistants, though.
Yeah, they're multiplying in numbers.
I'm telling you.
Like bacteria.
Gemma's here.
Yes, Kim arrived.
They are very good students using AI in full power. Sending
That's
the
right.
assistants in.
They're too good students until it becomes annoying because they never show. They don't show up. They just send their AI assistant.
Well, Mohammed, you know what's the driving force in the world in the history? Laziness.
It is. No, Tanel, you're totally right. That's one thing with AI is the problem that we could get quite lazy. It's very true.
Exactly.
No, but that's exactly AI automation is professional laziness.
No, true.
No, we have to take both sides of the coin, like every technology. Yeah. Saleh came in. Saleh, welcome. Saleh is part of our team. He's mainly involved in technical support. So you guys will be more and more in touch with him. Yes. We have... Oh yeah, and they chat as well.
Yes. Yeah, they do, exactly. And then they spam my email box.
Yeah, Kim.
Unsubscribe from them.
I thought it was a real message. He really got me with smileys and emoticons.
With the wink and the emoji.
The wink, yeah, the emoji. Damn, it's getting good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna... Eli, did I share my screen or not yet? I think I didn't.
No, we still haven't seen your screen.
Okay, let's pull it up so that we can see what we have today. Yeah, we still have maybe another 2 minutes for...
Okay, your screen is showing now.
Cool, I'm gonna switch into this mode. All right. Is it readable?
Yes, for me it is. What about everybody else? How does everybody else feel?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Yeah, good.
Cool. Let's just wait a little bit. Maybe Ryan is going to join, and we have a few other people. Let's see if I missed someone. No. Yeah, maybe that's the good opportunity for to do the first part, the introduction, and Tanel, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be very nice, so the community can get to know you, and also so that we know you better.
Yeah, I don't know, not much to say. It's just I'm from Estonia, so cold country in the Nordics. Today we had little snow even in May month. Yes.
Snow in May.
Well, yeah, but it's little snow, and it's not really minuses, but little came. Yeah, so it's sometimes it might happen. So we have really cold winters, -30, but also good summers, +30. So it's
oh yeah, it's
extremes.
Plus -30.
Yeah, so it's quite extreme. So, but I'm myself. I'm really not the IT guy or PhD guy or anything. I'm a simple salesperson. Have been. So I'm currently responsible for the whole sales in one wood window manufacturing company. You know, Estonia is a small country, and it's about 1.3 million people. So it's like one town in US. Yeah. So
it's like Mauritius. We're the same size here.
And more than half is covered with the forest. So the wood products is something that we do. So it's we sell wood windows. Our main market the biggest is UK. So, and Ireland, Netherlands, and US, Canada is now coming up as well. So
Nice.
yeah. In recent year, we have had quite a change in the company because the old owner died, and then we have more like looking how to reshape the company, and that's why I was like when the AI came, I looked how to do better the sales stuff, and year ago I started like a cold outreach as well with some AI tools. But in the end, I came to the point that what you also discuss here, that the foundation is the good data and organized data, systematic data. And it's like, I'm just looking what we have in our company. It's a bit little mess, and also like really complicated data structures and in different places, not really organized. So it's, I'm trying to, when you do some sales activity and also when you lead the sales, you want to measure in order to do something better. But if you don't have a good data, you cannot do the analyze. A measurement is also complicated because new data coming in, but the old data, it's so.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're
I'm
making.
I'm I'm trying a little bit to put my head around it, and that's why I joined just to start with the really beginning from this slow corner you have in your big
Exactly.
scale.
Yeah. You're making a perfect gateway to what we're gonna do today. And
Yeah.
it's also the classic situation of almost any enterprise, especially in the manufacturing world, because you guys have to deal with the sourcing and the materials and the purchases. So you have like one more step in the chain that we don't have in the software industry. So it's even more complex. But thank you. And Tanel, welcome to the community. And
Yes.
everybody, Tanel will be part with us. So you heard he's a sales manager. He's in the sales, so that's also very handy. So we can reach out to you as well for some help, especially in maybe
Yeah.
Northern and Western Europe, where you're located.
Yeah.
So let's start. I see Justin joined as well, so I think we can give it a go, and let's start where you actually ended up, Tanel, because I will pull again that slide. I'm gonna share my screen. And just to remind our little community where we are in our process. Oh yes, sorry, before I do that, I wanted to show you guys the new logos that Azizul is connected. He's our UX and graphic designer. So we just got a new set of agency certification logo. We have put it in the community, guys, for you to comment and so on. So just go to rtila.com/community and give us your feedback. So we want that once you go through the whole course, you'll get a certification. And last week, I also forgot, last week we signed an agreement with Middlesex University. So Eli, Middlesex, I think it's southeast of London.
That's right, yeah, not far from me.
Yeah, excellent. So they have a campus in Dubai and a campus in Mauritius, where I am. And we're going to start a course for professionals at the University of Middlesex. So we will potentially also have a co-certified degree. It's not degree, sorry. It's called the professional certification in AI automation with Middlesex University, or with RTILA alone. We will see how it goes. But we are preparing for that, and we just launched now the graphical side of it for you guys to display on your websites, your brochures, and we will have also the same for regular agents or partners. So we tried different colors. Maybe we don't have much time to discuss it here, but please go to the community and like and comment. That would be a very good feedback for us, because you will be the beneficiary of these logos. So don't be shy if it's too kiddish, if it's too IT, or we can find different ways of presenting it. But that's the first thing. And I go back also, we did the new members introduction. Tanel introduced himself. We have Tayo, he will join later. He's based in Canada, and I forgot if it was Vancouver or Toronto. And then probably next week we have Jesse from Israel that will be joining us. So we have some members from around the world. So now we are extending the countries, Daniel, with you in Estonia, Jesse in Israel. We already had a good community in North America, mainly US and Canada. So I'm happy to see that more and more people from different backgrounds and different regions are joining. So that's for the point one. And Tanel, just like you were saying, this is where we are right now in our data value chain growth map. We are now at the scrape data. And when we scrape data, we actually scrape data from different places. You could say data mining, because we really like dig out the data from wherever it is. And we have different mining tools. And RTILA is one of probably, we hope, the most useful and most equipped. And I'm going to show you one part of RTILA that we didn't advertise that much, Eli. But you will see it will become very handy in our strategy, is that we need to scrape or mine data, and often companies have text files. So Tanel, you may have a lot of PDFs, a lot of text files, documents, Words, Excels, where there is text data, or even you have images where there is text data scanned. And there is a first work for our agency to help our enterprise clients to go from the physical chaos or analog data, digitize it into text files. But then text files is not enough. We need to continue going up into structuring the data. So let me remind all of us what we're doing here. We're trying to go up and right. Going up is putting structure to the data. Going right is enriching the data and giving it more meaning. Like you said, Tanel, if you don't have proper data, you cannot take decisions because you have no semantics, you have no analytics, you don't have knowledge of what actually is happening in your company, in the processes. So that's what we are trying to go. As we go together, we improve the structure of our data, we dig it out, we improve it, and then we give it meaning. And that's what people will pay us for this particular work. So today we're starting at the very bottom left. We can do another session on how we can scan documents and then put them in JPEG or PDF, but I think that most of us know how to do with our scanners. So I will show you now what we do with the text files or PDF files. So that's where we are. We start with this, and this is part of the scrap end phase, which can last 3 to 4 months. We are towards the good mid of it. And to be able to manage files, whether they are PDFs, images, videos, or sound, because remember we can use our local AI models to remove the costs. We have this series of what we call RPA, robotic process automation, or file system commands in RTILA. We haven't promoted them yet, and we're gonna work on them first with the community guys to gain more maturity about these commands, and also to fine-tune them before we release them and promote them for the larger public. But I'll walk you through what we have, and it's already in RTILA 7.1. If you want to use them, they are ready to go. And what we have here is a couple of files commands. Sorry, one second, please. Need to charge the phone of my daughter. Okay. Yes, so we have a couple of commands that are the things that we do, Eli, in our everyday activity when we have a lot of files. We want to delete files, we want to move them to a directory, we want to rename files, we want to read the content, and then we want to resave them somewhere. So we created all the commands that we need as business people to manage our local files, but now this can be handled by RTILA. So the delete file, as it says, it will delete the file. The move file to new directory, it will move it to an existing directory. If the directory is not present, it will create the directory and move it in. So let's say I have 1,000 files in my download folder. I could get RTILA to go through all my download folder, all the files, and create a logic that it puts it in customer if it's a customer, put it in invoice folder if it's an invoice folder. So that gives you an idea on what RTILA can do. And you can rename files on the fly. So I can send a file to an AI, even if the file name is B2 24 25 of June, but we don't know what is inside. We open the file, we send it to the AI. From the AI, we get a title, we rename the file, and now we have a properly named file. So that's the objective of all these commands, is to help us automate the management of our files. I will just
So this
admit,
means
yes,
to take all our chaotic data to the database. That's the...
exactly. So first we extract the data. Right now we're gonna extract, move, and organize the files. Let's call it files at the moment. We're at the file system level. So that's exactly what you said. We can manipulate the file, bring them from a messy folder, rename them, move them, copy them, and organize the file system, so that then, once we are organized, we can then push it to the database. We want to do the cleanup in our local folders so that we don't overwhelm our database with unuseful data or files. Files are very heavy. We don't want to put files on the server. And also you can, we have now the file also, the command called get file content. So let's say now we rename the file. Now we want to look what is inside and send it to the AI, or even just get the data. We have a command that can read any text file, PDF. We have a few commands actually for PDFs, for text files. So we can read the data, then RTILA has the data, then you can send it anywhere you want. And then we have two directory commands that are very useful and quite powerful. It took us some time to develop them, but I think this will help us a lot in the enterprise world. One is that this command here, directory get files path. This command, you just give it a directory as a path. It will go into that directory and give you the list of all the files in it. So if I give to this command my downloads directory, it will pull all the files path of all the documents. Now I have a list of all my files. I can run it in a loop to process those files. So that's the first directory command. The second directory command, guys, is a premium command, only available to premium and AI members, because it's a very powerful and very useful one. We call it folder and file monitoring. So you can specify a folder, and RTILA will monitor that folder. If a new file comes in that folder, it will pick it up and give you the file path so that you can process it in an automation flow. So it's a monitoring command. So let's say you have another automation, or you have your team members, they create documents and then they put them in a folder in a specific computer in your network. RTILA can pick up any new file and then process it, clean it, extract data with the local AI, put it in the database, for example, Tanel. If you put an invoice, you can extract the VAT, you can extract the customer name, you can extract the amount and the products that were sold automatically as soon as somebody puts that file in that folder. So this is very powerful because it keeps the automations running in your company 24 hours a day. File automation. So this is about the commands. Happy to take a couple of questions. And then we can talk about how we actually are going to use one of them. So today we're going to use the get file content to get the content and then send it to the AI. But happy to answer questions. Anyone? Kim, you do a lot of info. Yes, Ryan, I see your hand rise. Please go ahead. And then Eric.
Yeah, quick question on that last one. It sounds really powerful. Is that for internal files only, or can that be used in a extraction methodology for data scraping as well? Yeah,
both. So it can run on a Linux computer, because our command, you know, our software works on the three: macOS, Linux, and Windows. So if you put this on a Linux server, like in your case, it can monitor a folder, and every time something is downloaded to that folder, RTILA will pick it up and do the work. But also, like you said, Ryan, when we scrape data and we download PDFs automatically from web sources with RTILA, we can drop them in a folder and immediately it's picked up by another RTILA bot that can then read that PDF, do something, and put it somewhere else.
So this is the secondary bot. As soon as something hits our internal file from the extraction, then it automates that second step. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah. So you don't even need to create that linked automations. You can just define a folder where certain stuff are saved. Let's say you have one folder for photos of candidates. And let's say you have an automation that you want that will resize and optimize the images so that they're not too heavy. So every time there is a photo that comes in the photo folder, there is a specific bot of RTILA that looks into this photo folder. When there is a new file, it picks it up, it transforms it into WebP, which is light. It's how you call it? Redimension it into lightweight, And once it optimizes it, it will upload it to your directors or your backend. Now you have optimized images without overloading your SaaS or your hosting. So this allows us to do a lot of file manipulation, file cleaning, data extraction, data cleaning before it hits our database.
Eric has got his hand up.
Yeah, but first, sorry, Eric, just to double check, Ryan, does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, excellent. Eric, please go ahead.
I have a question of my own, and I would just pick up on Ryan's question because your answer was great. Is the resizing internally, or is RTILA going to another web page to resize the images and stuff?
Yeah, good question.
Internal process?
You can do both. So right now we have a few commands that work with the API of Cloudinary. Cloudinary has a lot of image processing. So it will actually send the image to Cloudinary and then you can use that. But we will develop some local image management commands that we will add in RTILA because we believe that it's also useful. But you can send it through API to a system, or you can go to a free web optimization, image optimization website, and you upload it with RTILA. You get the new image, you download it again, and then you push it to your database. That's also possible. Always, there are so many ways to do the same thing. With our ecosystem.
Can I just jump in? And
yes,
is it a situation also that you can have your own image AI on the server, so you don't have to rely on the third party?
Exactly. So actually, this is what we can cover later on. I don't know if you saw the video of LLaMA 3.2 Vision, the demo I did. So now we have vision models that we can download and host on our computers, so we can send images to be processed locally by the local AI for free. So we have few models that do background removal, that do highlighting of a person face. You know, there are so many local models that do that very nicely. We will cover that on as we go with enrichment. We will cover how we use AI for image and media generation and enrichment.
My original question was something different.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could use one of those commands to export the CSV files created in RTILA Studio, because imagine the three-step scraping process.
Yes.
You always have to download the file, append them in an Excel sheet, for instance. Would it be possible that I can automate that as well? So
Indeed.
I can just schedule the task and it runs over, and it appends itself.
So the automation will drop files as it scraps data, and then another automation will monitor the folder, pick up the CSV file, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I can show you. Actually, we have a command. So I was going to show you here the whole flow, but I will show you the command that you can use, Eric, for that purpose.
Cool. Yeah.
So we have a command called download results, save results to file. So you use save results to file, and you specify to which folder, local folder, you want to drop it as a CSV or a JSON or HTML as you want, and then it will be dropped to that folder, and then this automation that I showed you, this command that I showed you, will pick up that CSV file and do whatever you want it to do with it.
Love it. All right. So I have to redo all the projects.
No, yeah, you just update them. But this was something that we didn't. So we started as a web scraper, so we didn't have much local computer, desktop, OS side. But it's very critical in our enterprise environment. So we created all this to be up to date, and we did it in a way that it can be very granular, the way we manage files. So you can download files, save files with RTILA, organize them with the AI, and RTILA is like the middleware between all these systems. It takes data, put it here, and so on. So we can cover that more, Eric, in another video about saving the results, but it can do it. And then we had Alan. Alan, I think he had a question, but I think he got disconnected. Oh no, Alan, you're back.
I'm back, sir.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Yeah, all good.
I'm well. I'm well. I'm well. Thanks for asking. Listen, I just met with a friend who I'm helping with his construction photography business. You know, we spoke about that a while
Yeah.
ago,
Yes.
and I'm wondering now that we're talking about JSONB and how it's able to extract certain properties
Yeah.
and to save them in a specific format. Now, you will recall that what he's trying to do is cut out that manual labor of extracting the details of the spoken video, which matches with the timestamp on the video in
Yeah.
real time. Some of these
Yes.
videos could be 3 and more hours. So I was wondering, would Jason be a good candidate for? Because when you're talking about these videos, they can be pretty huge when you're trying to
Yeah.
work with them. How would that work with respect to what we got going on? I'm not really
Yeah.
sure how that would
So
work.
I will cover this a little bit when we move into the next slides, but basically what you would do in this case, Sam, is that all the videos that your partner or client is doing, they will go into a folder. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
RTILA will monitor that folder. Every time a new video comes in, RTILA can
Hmm.
send that video to a local AI model to do the text transcription for free.
Uh-huh.
So then
Uh-huh.
we extract the text, we get the text of everything that he was speaking about, plus the timestamps. Yeah.
And the AI will match both of them and sync them up perfectly.
It has to be tested, but that's what we can do.
Okay.
And you can test, but that's working with media is like 10 times to 30 times more difficult than working with text documents. So
Yes, with the
it,
visual images and
yeah,
whatnot.
and also
And images.
it takes bigger graphic cards. So as we go in the program, we will give you guys the tools and the knowledge on how to handle media, but a bit later on in the program. Right now, I think the low-hanging fruit is to manage text. So to manage text data that comes from files and to use AI text generative. That's where we are at the moment in this phase, but
Hmm.
definitely doable, Alan.
Oh,
And
it is doable.
and I will show you the output that you can get in JSON. So because you raised the good points of JSON and JSONB, which is actually the
Hmm.
next slide.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and close my mouth for now.
No. No, you're more welcome. You can speak anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. So maybe unless Eli, you see any question in the chat,
Yeah,
maybe I can move.
Tanel wants to speak again. He wants to have a chat.
Yes, Tanel. Yes,
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead, Tanel.
yeah. Sorry about that. It's just that this slide right now answers also one of my question when I was looking at the previous videos. If you go back to the previous slide,
Yes, here.
I had it's sort of when we discussed that we take the data in, we systemize, we enrich it, and we move to have really perfect and well managed data. But the question is that data is so dynamic, it's changing so quickly. Today we bring everything in, but tomorrow is this data that we scraped and enriched, it's already old.
Yes.
So how we in principle how you see how we manage that if tomorrow to get the updates to this data even when we are on the top right
Yes. Well,
corner.
that's a very difficult thing to handle in business, and that's why we have built the whole ecosystem, including a PostgreSQL database. Because if you have all the data in PostgreSQL in a stable, fast database with vectorial data, JSONB, that's how you can solve this question and this remark that you said. And we will come to it later. But because the backend has an API, then you can keep the data updated at a lower cost. If you keep your data in Excel files, CSV, images, and in that system and in that system and in Google Sheet, then it's a mess because it costs a lot of money to go and update the data. But if you centralize or if you create a harmonized, how you call it, abstracted database that is very fast and AI ready, that's how we can start to solve that problem of updating the data much faster. So the next bots, you can do scheduled bots that go back to the sources, pick up the new data and bring it back and update.
to the old sources that we have been
Yeah,
using. So just to
exactly.
monitor these.
For example,
Okay.
the
Alright.
old legacy systems, they don't have APIs, but often they have an option to export as a CSV, export as a text file, export as a XML. So you just get a team or a local bot to export the data from that legacy system into the folder that RTILA is monitoring. RTILA will see a new file, pick it up, extract the text, send it to the local AI, get JSONB, move it to the database, do a comparison. Is the new data more new than the one online? If yes, then update.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks.
You're welcome. And maybe there was one more question, I think, Ila, you said in the chat. Oh, no? Okay. Yeah, I think you're mute, Eli.
No, you can carry on. It's cool.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you, Tanel, for the questions. And please, anyone, don't be shy, because that's exactly why we did this program, is to cover all these questions we have and kind of run them in our mind and see how we can address them technically. Now let's go to what is called structured output. So one of the weaknesses of AI in chat mode is that when you're on ChatGPT, the first ChatGPT version was called ChatGPT because it's made for chatting with an AI. So it's very chatty. It almost tells you, hey, how are you today, Tanel? Say, hey, answer my question. I'm not here. I don't need a friend. I want data. I want my data done. So that's one weakness that we have with the chat AI from the very beginning. And we want structured data. So sometimes when you send the documents to the AI model, or when you upload a file, or when you give it a blob of text and you tell it, extract for me the year, the VAT number, and something else. It had a hard time because it will give you back a paragraph as a response. But a paragraph for us is not useful because it's not structured. Yeah. So the AI models, including OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, and all these guys, they have recently provided what is called structured output. So there is a mechanism where now, when you query the AI, you can say, I don't want to use the chat mode because the chat mode is better when I'm one-on-one with the AI. Now I want to work with my database. So I want a structured output. So you give an instruction, which is a normal prompt, and then you send your data format as a JSON. That gives to the AI the model of the data structure that it needs to answer you, and now it's going to answer you in a structured way. So it's called structured output. If you guys have time, we have put the link here. No, I forgot. I'm going to put the link here. I deleted it by mistake. So if I put here, this is the link. You can go and read about it. This is a structured output for LLaMA, for Ollama. So Ollama is...
Could you put it in the comment so everybody can copy and paste?
Yes, of course. Is my screen still shared?
It is, yes.
Okay,
it's still
so
shared.
I'll put it in the comments, sure. Of course, let's put here in the chat, yeah? So here it is in the chat, and it is also in the lesson and in our... I will share this PDF as well, this presentation. So if you look at the website, I will go now, when they announced it late December 2024, so that means it's very recent, it's like just this year, basically. It explains to you what it is, how it works, and how you can query LLaMA 3.2 or any other local model and get structured output. So it gives you some JavaScript, some Python, but we're not developers, and don't worry about that. We have prepared it for you to be used in RTILA, and I will give you a demo later on. And also we have the template for you to use. But let's just cover what are the three main reasons why we want structured output and we want JSON. Is because it's easier for parsing and automation. Like if I get a paragraph, like I was saying, and I want to automate a task, I need to break the paragraph and create some very complicated logic. If I want to do it with JavaScript or any language. But if the AI gave it to me in JSON, it's ready to be, it's structured for any other automation to pick up any field because it's already structured. The second thing is that it's more reliable and deterministic. So if I ask the AI to give me the currency, it will give me the currency, you know? It's very predictable. It will not put the price because it will be understand. So it's a number, let's say, sorry, let me give you another example. Let's say there is a PDF of an invoice. I want the total amount of the invoice, or I want the the total in VAT. I will get, if I instruct the AI to pull the VAT, it will pull the VAT, even though it's the same, it's just a number, and there are multiple numbers in the invoice. So that's the power of it, is that the AI will be able to separate different numbers because it has the context. And third, it enables us to do some validation and error checking before we save it to our database. So if, for example, I get a number that is not a decimal number, then I know the AI made a mistake. I can stop the flow and send again a new query to the AI with asking for a correction. There are many other advantages, but I didn't want to overwhelm you guys on why the structured output is very useful. It's actually, for automation, is indispensable if we want to do it properly and work with large databases. So that's what we call structured outputs that we get out of AI models, whether online or offline models. Any questions on this part, on the structured output? Yes, Eric. Please go ahead,
Question.
Eric.
We do have commands for Gmail as well, right? Or for email in general. So
Yeah,
I'm imagining someone that does the bookkeeping for me, just picking up PDF files from every email address that I have.
Yes.
Like whenever a new PDF file comes in, structure it like folder-wise for the month, and then give me an output of the potential VAT that I have to pay at the end of the month because I sold products to someone, and I just want RTILA to gather all the VATs together, and I know, I don't know, 10 days before my bookkeeper knows what I have to pay.
Yes. Now, we've built this, most of our documentation, because last year I was involved in an accounting and auditing firm. The top four, KPMG, Deloitte, and so on. So the number 8, I think, or 7 is called Baker Tilly. And we did a cooperation with Baker Tilly to automate, because they do a lot of auditing and accounting for big companies. And they have a big struggle to take PDF invoices and then do bank reconciliation with the bank statement or prepare the taxes reports. It's a headache. So we prepared RTILA to solve that headache.
It's still in use with them?
Yeah, we did some tests and so on, and then it didn't really go, because the aim was to present it to their clients. And then we parted ways, but actually we developed all this. So now we have it. And we are ready. And we made it available to some of our AIA program agents, customers. We did that. We took transactions, we matched them to the bank statement, and then we make some logic. You can ask the AI, how many % are you sure you're correct? You can, how is it called in English? Eli is the level of percentage of confidence. This is very useful. We always ask the AI, tell me how confident are you with this task? And if I see that the AI says I'm 50% confident, we send it to a human to review. If the AI says 100%, 90%, we send it to the system. That's what we are doing. Yeah. So it will be very powerful for you guys, for your own business, but also for your customers. We have a template, Eric, remind me, I will send it to you. We have a template that goes to Gmail and checks all the new Gmail that are bold and grab the content. So you can grab the content in PDF and then put it somewhere.
I have another idea. You know that with your tax assistant, whatever, he gives you a list at the end of the month of all invoices that you haven't turned in.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, in Germany, it's 1509, whatever, the banking account number.
Yeah.
And so you have a list of invoices with invoice numbers.
Yeah.
And then it's my task to go through all the email accounts and find these invoices. And that takes me roughly 2 to 3 to 4 hours per month in total. So RTILA could do that for me and find all the invoices that I'm looking for, right? In my email.
I think so,
just for new emails?
No, you could do like a loop that searches the red emails for those data and then download all the PDFs. So it's not easy with Gmail, because Gmail is not built to be automated from the web interface. But you can do it. It's easier to do it with emails that have an API layer, because we can use the API and get it very precise.
Isn't there an API for Google? mail?
Not for Gmail. It's not as
Oh, yeah.
powerful, as simple as the web interface. It was really built as a webmail, Gmail.
Yeah, I remember I tried to do something like that with Replit, and it gets stuck.
It
all
gets
the
stuck,
time.
but
That's why I'm
we
asking.
broke through. We broke through. We are now able to
True.
go through a Gmail and read the emails and download the content. So it's just that it's not that easy. It's easier with the normal webmail. That maybe like it's even easier with Outlook webmail than Gmail somehow.
But Outlook could grab the Gmails. It's no problem.
Yeah. So we have automated Outlook Outlook webmail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do both Outlook webmail, Gmail webmail, and do that. But then you just have to monitor this automation because it's web-based and it's a bit more fragile. But it's totally doable. We can work on it later on. The ideal is to have a setup where you have your own mail server with an API layer. Actually, this is what we discussed with Ryan already, because that gives you like total freedom on incoming email, outgoing email, and then RTILA can pick them up through the API, send them to directors, to PostgreSQL, create a new email, and then send an email. We will reach that level of email automation. We have some nice infrastructure for that.
That would be good for cold emailing.
That's right.
Have your own,
For incoming email, so that you can almost use the AI to reply to your customers in a nice way. Prepare the answers. There is so much potential. If you guys follow this infrastructure that we are building, it's going to be very complete, and you will have ownership of all these technologies. So we will get there. We will get there. This is the beginning, and that's why we spend a lot of time on this part, guys, because we need to master this part of mining the data and structuring the data. If we don't have the structure, and if we're not able to move our data into that structured infrastructure, like you said, Tanel, everything else will be expensive and not working well. Even we take the best AI, we pay for some AI agents, our data is messy and very hard to deal with. So that's why, bear with us. It's a bit boring, but then we apply the right structure. So the first, that's the first things that we did. Sorry, maybe some more questions. But Eric, I hope that's fine with your question. Yeah. Any hand raised, maybe Eli, or if you see something in the chat?
Not at all. No, just Ryan saying this is not boring. So, and I second that.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so in summary, what does that mean? What is the difference, like visually, between a chat response of an AI and a structured output? It's what you have in the screen right here. If I ask to ChatGPT or even to LLaMA 3 through the chat mode, if I tell it, tell me what is the population of France and what is the currency. So tell me the currency, the capital, and the population of France. Then it will reply me with a sentence like this. Now the data is there, 60 million people, the currency is euro, the capital city is Paris, and the language is French. But this is not automatable. This is not structured data. This is a blob of text. If I send now the same query to ChatGPT or to LLaMA 3.2, but using the structured output, it will not reply me as a chat mode. It will reply me with the JSON. You see the JSON here? The JSON opens up with the curly bracket, and then because it knows that I call the name of the country in my database is called name. That's the column. The capital is called capital. The currency, population, ISO underscore code. That's how I call the language in my database, and languages. So it replies me in the structure of my database. Now I can push it through JSON, through an API to my database directors, PostgreSQL. That's the visual difference. Yeah. Now, this is what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you live. If I have not broken something, we're going to grab a text file from my local documents. We're going to use the get file content RPA command that I showed you. Then we're going to send it to LLaMA 3.2 with RTILA. So we have this command, this template we call RTILA LLaMA. So we're going to send the whole text content out of that text file to LLaMA. We have built in RTILA this template for sending structured output requests to the AI. And then I'm going to get back a JSON, and I'm going to just display it in our screen just to show you that it's doable and it's very fast and it's completely free because I use my local AI. So let's jump into here. I'm going to reduce our videos and I will show you here. This template is already available in the community in the lesson. So this is the template that I'm going to launch now. Let me show you here. So this is get file content, yeah? And I'm telling it, go to my C drive users, user1 in the documents folder and take fr-summary.txt, which is the file that I have here. You see this file here? In this file, it's a txt file, I have all the informations about France. So you see here it's like very messy, but there is information about France. And I'm gonna send this whole blob of text. I'm gonna pick it up with RTILA here. This will get me the content of that text file, and then I will feed that text file, here. I will alert it, so alert, it will just display it on the screen. I will alert what we get from the text file, and then I'm gonna do something here. Sorry, I'm reorganizing my things. I don't need this. Yeah. So I extract the data from the text file. I show it on the screen just for us to see how it looks like. That's what the alert does. Then I have a static variable where I put here the local AI model that I want to use. So we will do another video, but you can download Ollama and then download different AI models. So let me show you how it looks like. I have here actually Ollama that is already launched. So I'm going to close this. Let me show you quickly, but we will do a specific video and tutorial on how to install LLaMA. Actually, we have one with Zach. I will publish it. But if you don't have this yet, go to ollama.com. And this works on any computer. I think I put an extra L. So it's OLL ollama.com. And download Ollama to your local computer. They have it for Linux, Macs, and Windows. Once you download Ollama, then you can go to ollama.com and you go to the models. And you basically have access to all these AI models for free. All these AI models, they are good at different tasks that you can download for free. So if let's say I go to Gemma 3, and I can go here and view all the models. And let's say I want to download a small Gemma. For example, this Gemma 3, 1 billion. So I copy this. And once I have downloaded Ollama, I can just launch the command line here. And I can do Ollama pool, and I paste my model, the model that I want from Ollama. And if I hit enter, it's going to download this AI model to my local computer, to my local Ollama. You can see here it's downloading it for free.
Is the model and the context window necessary that we have a look on that?
Yes, we will do a specific session on this. Now I'm just showing you guys that it's free and very fast. So now I have downloaded Gemma 3, and I can do Ollama list to see all the models I have locally. So I have this Gemma, I have LLaMA 3.1, LLaMA 3, Qwen 3, Gemma 3, the bigger one. I have 5.4, LLaMA 3.2, Mistral, DeepSeek, and LLaMA 3.2. I can use so many models, but you just need to grab the model that you want to use. So let's say I want to use Mistral because I downloaded it. So I copy Mistral here. I'm going to do Control-C. Sorry, Mistral _latest. So when I am on my automation in RTILA, you just have to change your model. What is the model name you want? So let's say I want to use Mistral latest. That's all you need to do to configure this, the model in our template. And now there is the prompt. So the prompt, I can say about the country, and then I feed the text that we got from the PDF. Yeah. And actually, this is not from the PDF, sorry. This is the variable name that gets the text. We're using get file content. So the prompt is about the country, and then I paste the content of the command that got the text from the file. Now I have the model, I have the prompt that is dynamically prepared, and we sanitize the prompt. The reason why we sanitize the prompt is that in these text files, there are many characters like dollar, like comma, like hyphen that can break the API query to the local AI. So we sanitize it, we remove all the bad characters, And then this is the API command that is actually sending to this local endpoint of the local AI, is sending my queries. So, and this is the prompt. We're doing a JSON prompt where we tell it, this is the model I want to use, this is my sanitized prompt, and this is what you need to reply me. You need to reply me with the name of the country, the capital, you know, that JSON format, we give it to the AI. So you don't have to change this, you can just use our template. And then we get the responses, and I want to show you what it does. Okay, let's run it, because today is more for engaging the discussion than really developing the automation. The template is ready to go. So you just run the template after you replace your AI model. And it's not going to work because I forgot to launch Ollama. So I will cancel it again. But let's look at least at the text that comes out of the file. So you see, this is what we get from the text file. I get France, blah, 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 blah. This is the blob that I get. So this is what we're going to send to the local AI. I'm going to close it now. So what you need to do before you launch RTILA, you need to go into your command line. And you need to launch by saying Ollama serve. And it said error because the port is already used. That's because Ollama is already running on my computer here. So I will quit it. It works, but we will not see the output, and I want to show you guys the output. So I close Ollama from the visual program, and I'm going to launch it in command line, Ollama serve. Now it loaded my NVIDIA local card, it recognized it. It's ready to take inquiries from RTILA. So this is the Ollama API response that is coming here. I'm going to put it this way. Let's now launch our automation, and I'm going to put them side by side. Okay, here it goes. And you're going to see here on the left side, all the interactions with the AI model. On the right side, RTILA grabbed the content from the text file, and we are just showing it for us to view. Now I'm going to click OK, and it's going to send this. It's going to sanitize it, send it with the prompt to the local AI. So right now it's sending it. You see here, the AI model, the LLaMA 3 Ollama is working. Now it loaded, and now look what I have. From the text file, it's extracted for me. The country name is France, the capital is Paris, the population is in million is 68, the GDP is in millions. It converted the GDP for me. In millions, it's 3,000 million, so which is 3 billion, I think. Country code, ISO code is FR. Current ambassador to the US is Laurent Billy, and spoken language is FR, and the currency is euro. This is, guys, what we have been talking about, and it's actually doing it. And if I do it again, I'll show you. The first time it will load the model, but the second time it's actually very fast with the AI model. I will run it again a second time. Okay. Let's send it again to the AI. So the first time it took 5.9 seconds. The second time it only took 2 seconds for the AI to answer. So that means that you can do a lot in 1 hour. You can process a lot of documents in 1 hour and get VAT, so tunnel, you can get whatever you want in a structured way from the invoices or from a bank statement. This is how we get structured data. So that's what I wanted to show you in this demo, and I will go back now to our presentation. That's it for the demo. From disorganized unstructured text, we're getting some JSON live with our demo. Happy to take questions, guys.
Anyone got questions at all? Ryan.
Yes, I think Ryan, yes.
So that's amazing. First off, thank you for that.
Cool. Thank you.
Quick question on is there how much of this could be set up to do in a distributed fashion, like to a local server? Is that just a matter of providing access into, or is this pretty much dependent upon truly physical local hardware?
No, you can install RTILA on the server where the data and the files are, because RTILA can work on Linux, Windows. So you can work on a Windows server, you can work on a Mac server, or on a Linux server, or your personal computer. It can work everywhere.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to confirm. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we will install RTILA along your database on the same server, right? Let me show you something else, because now you got the concept. I can do the same. If I open now, sorry, I'm gonna stop this automation, and we're gonna do the same automation. I open it, and now let's say I have a PDF. I don't have a text file, I have a PDF, so I can move this. I'm gonna move my text command in my, I'm using folders, but now I'm gonna extract from a PDF. So we have this command called extract from PDF. So let's go here and use a PDF. So if you look at this command, I'm telling it, go to my documents and get frsummary.pdf. So if I go back in my folder here, I have the PDF here. Let me open it for you to see. This is the PDF. So the PDF is better. There are some images, but it's not structured data. It is more organized, but it's not yet structured. So an invoice will also be like, has a layout, but it's not structured data. So now I'm gonna ask RTILA to pick this PDF, extract the text, send it to the AI, and get me the same structured output from the PDF. So now I'm gonna feed this command to the LLM, to the prompt. So the prompt here, now it will get what we get from the PDF. So now the same thing, but instead of pulling the data from a text file, I'm pulling the data from a PDF. Let's go, let's do it. And then I will show you one more example just to give you the ideas on all the potential we have, guys. And I repeat, we do all this locally, total privacy, total ownership for free with our local AIs. So this is what we get from the PDF. From the PDF, we extracted all this stuff. It's not structured. And now we send it to the AI. So you're going to see a new line in my AI coming up here. Yeah. So it processed it in 2.5 seconds. And now it gave me also the structured data. Yeah. So I think I need to deal with some characters, but it got the work done as well. This is the PDF. Now let me show you one more example, and then we'll take questions. Let's say now the data, so Tanel, let's say the data is on a website, the register or somewhere. I can also do the same with data that I get from a website. So let me move this here, and I'm going to use a go to URL. I'm going to put it on the top, and I'm going to tell it, go to the CIA fact book about France. I'll show you the page here. So instead of using a file, I'm going to use the official World Fact Book from the CIA that has all the information about France, even more data than my PDF. And I'm going to send all this for free to be analyzed by my local AI. So we go to the URL here, and then we're going to extract the whole text that is on the website. And now this is what I'm going to send to my AI. I'm going to send the extracted text from the web page. That's what I'm going to send to the AI. So this will send the extracted text from the URL. Let's now run it. So I can grab any data from any URL and don't even look for the CSS selectors or what. I just send it to the AI for it to do the work for me and get me the data back. So let's look at this now. I didn't alert the content of the HTML, but it's going to be slower because there was a lot of data in the HTML. Yeah, you see, it took 5 seconds, and I got the data back from this is coming from the web, from the website, and that's it for my demo. So we did the three types of sources, and we are using the local AI. And maybe one question that you raised, Eric. You said, is it important about the context window? Yeah?
Yes.
Here, 32,000. 32K is 32,000, yeah?
Yeah.
So when you look at the CIA fact book page, if I go back to it, fact book, here. This page has a lot of content, so maybe it has 3,000 words, yeah? Mm-hmm. So when you send when we send this content as text to an AI model, the context window, it means how much data you can send to the AI.
Yeah.
So 32,000, that means that you can send 32,000 words in one go to be analyzed.
Mhm.
128,000, that means that you can send 128,000 words to the AI. That means you can almost send a small thesis to the AI.
Yeah.
Now, this is costly when you use online models because they charge you per token. But because we use local AI, we can do this for free. So if I want a higher context, I will use this model, Gemma 3, not Gemma 3.4b. If I want to send more content, more text in one go. Yeah?
Yeah.
I hope it makes sense. So I think I went down through my list, and Eli, I think we're on time for the questions and answers.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, we're
Actually,
getting better. Because now we're doing less and less theory and more practice or concrete examples. I think it will be a bit more under control.
Eric's got his hand up. Hi, Eric.
Hands up. So regarding the length,
Yes.
so this website was, of course, smaller than 32,000 Ks.
Yes.
What is going to happen when we have, I don't know, Tanel is using his folder with, I don't know, 2,000 PDFs.
Yeah.
And he's looking for a certain information within all of those PDFs.
Yes.
Is that model then going to use 32K per PDF file? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you get what I mean.
Yes.
Other way around. Or do we have to account for all the PDF files with all the words in
Yes.
total for this one prompt?
Yeah, so this is a very good question, and it's actually one of the most demanded features by enterprise clients. What they want to do, it's called chat with your documents. You want to be able to chat and consult your documents with the AI model. So chat with your documents at the moment, even if you pay the $200 premium account on ChatGPT, you can only upload 20 documents and chat with 20 documents at the same time because of the context window limit, Eric. So even the biggest AI model has that, and even if you pay $200 a month, you can only chat with 20 documents at a time. So Tanel or you, if you have 1,000 PDFs with invoices, you will not be able to deal with them as a one go. But with the way we developed RTILA is to actually solve that. And the way we do it is that we're not going to do chat with your documents directly. What we propose is chat with your documents database. First, RTILA will go through the 1,000 PDFs, extract them one by one, send them to the AI, extract the text, analyze it, put it in JSONB, put it in the database. That will take maybe a few hours. But now all your 10,000 documents are in PostgreSQL. Yeah? Now it's available, digitized in binary format, ready to be digested by an AI. Now you can chat with an AI that uses your vectorial data and your metadata to tell it, find me the contract that we signed in February 2023 with the client named Mohammed about a red car. And you will be able to do that.
Wow. Great.
Yeah, for virtually free, compared to $200 per month per user for 20 documents at max. You can see the power that we have.
Notebook LM, though.
Sorry?
Notebook LM from Google has 50 files.
50.
That's what I'm using currently. Yeah,
yes,
50.
but from a privacy, there is also the
Sure.
privacy and so on. Yeah, so
Okay.
if you're a medical company or a financial company, you crunch your 100,000 documents if you want locally. Without so that's what we are building, and that's why if we keep up our work, our hard work, that's what we can offer to enterprises, and they're all waiting for the market to offer these services because they have Excel files, PDF, images, contracts, minutes of meetings, analysis, P&Ls, invoices, you name it, thousands and thousands and thousands of things that they can't get analytic out of. I think Tanel, that's where you came about. There's so much gold in data in the company, but it's not accessible. And our objective is to bring that data to the surface and make it available to our customers and our partners.
And it's not even available to when you have. We for our company we are using a chatbot from Intercom. Intercom.
Yes, Intercom. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
And we pay, depending, you know, in Christmas times, we pay $500 to $600 per month, normal month. are $300 or something like that.
Yeah.
But they don't have access to any invoice that we send to the customers. They don't have access to any emails that were sent outside of Intercom. So that is crazy, because our customer care agent always has to, he can work with Intercom on one side, but all the information that is necessary on the other side has to be searched manually.
Yeah.
Which is pain in the butt.
It is. It is. And the way to solve it is to have a data infrastructure that you own and you can control. And then with RTILA and all these technologies, we push the data in a formatted and structured way. That is the only way you can solve all these limits. And that's what we have been working on the last 1 year. So I'm happy to see that these questions, because it confirms that hopefully we're going in the right direction. But you can see that this is very powerful, because RTILA works on your local computer with a local AI. So it's much faster. When you need to, if you had to send 1,000 documents to ChatGPT, first you need to upload them. Let's say you don't care about privacy and intellectual property transpiration. You still have to upload it. That's traffic. That's upload traffic. That's tokens used by ChatGPT, and that's going to be millions of tokens and millions of tokens, because 1,000 documents with 1,000 words, that's 1 million token. 1 million token for this kind of thing is $20 at least with ChatGPT. So all these things we take out the upload download time, the latency, the tokens limits, the cost limits, and we remove the privacy issue, and we go faster. We go faster, cheaper, and more private. So I think for the enterprises, it's kind of a no-brainer. Even if we're, let's say, 20% less precise than ChatGPT, but 20% less precise than the best AI in the world, but then we do it 10 times faster, 10 times cheaper, I think it's still manageable. And then you can build some algorithm or logic to correct the data when it comes broken. So yes, any questions, guys? Please don't be shy.
Actually, Mohammed, I've got a question. You've got all these open source models. I mean, obviously, depending on your user case, will depend on what model you use. But in your experience, what model is quite efficient and flexible, especially when you're dealing with multiple documents at once, as what Eric was talking about? What model is the one to go for that flexibility and that speed, efficiency, etc.?
Yes, so I do it the hard way. Let me show you the way I've done it. Where is it? So I loaded all the models and I tested them on RTILA. I created a loop to give me the same answers for all the models, and then I compare the answers and I see which one is better for these particular tasks. For this particular task, I figured out that Mistral, the French LLM, was better than LLaMA 3.2. For other tasks, LLaMA 3.2 was better. For another task, DeepSeek will be better, and it's very weird, but some model, even small, they will outperform a big model on a specific thing. For example, for phone numbers, Gemma works better. Like I sent like thousands of phone numbers to be reformatted. LLaMA 3.2 didn't do the job, Mistral didn't do the job, but Gemma did the job. It somehow understands phone number structure better. So you have to experiment and find the best model, and then use that model for that specific bot or that specific flow.
Okay, so let me get this correct. So when you actually want to test out a specific thing you're trying to do, you always test it with multiple models, find out what's best, then you move on to the next project and you do the same thing over and over again.
Exactly.
So you're optimizing every which way you can, and you're not biased towards the latest model, you're not biased towards size, all you're biased is efficiency.
Exactly, and you see every automation will have its model specified here dynamically. So this automation Mistral is better, but maybe I have another automation flow that will use LLaMA 3.2. So yes, you choose the best model for the task based on actual results, actual comparison of the results.
Okay, one other question too.
Yes, please.
Is it the case you can use multiple models running at any one time, and obviously you access it whenever you need to, or can you only have one model at a time running within a system?
That's a good question. So you see here we queried Mistral. But I had another automation where I load another model, and then my graphic card will load that model and answer me. So you can query only one model at a time through this API. So you need to create a loop for now. But if you have multiple graphic cards, you may be able to query two different models that are held in the graphic card. On one graphic card you have LLaMA 3.2, another one you have I don't know, Mistral. Then you can query both of them. But it's not complicated, Eli, because it's like, you know, like a gun. You reload the bullet. You have the silver bullet, the gold bullet. It takes 5 seconds to reload the bullet. 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, RTILA will ask for this model to be loaded, and then it will do the instructions, and then change the model, and go on. Does it answer your question, Eli?
Yeah, totally. It just the basis of it is that it can't do it in parallel.
No.
But you can query it in a queue.
In a queue, in a series, in a loop, yeah, exactly. And it's not time costly. 5 seconds is manageable. Yeah. And also you get the answers. So because the page from the CIA fact book is long and it's HTML and so on, so it takes more time. But like when you send to the AI something very simple, you tell it, this is this company description. Tell me if it's a retail business or a wholesale business. It will reply you in half a second. Or you send a resume and you say, this is the resume. Is this a postgraduate student or undergraduate? It will reply you like in half a second, undergraduate. So it can be super fast. Ryan, I think you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I've got a couple follow-on questions to what Eli was inquiring about.
Yes, please.
Does RTILA currently evaluate those on speed and quality of output return?
No, that's what you can do. You can build. So I show you what we have done for you guys to do that. We have prepared all the how you call it, measurement. So when you guys can download this from the lesson from the rtila.com/community. This template is already there. So if you go to this responses folder, you see here responses folder, we have already all the data that comes back from the AI in terms of how long it took per query, how many tokens it used. So you can build statistical load duration, total duration, and then evaluation count, how much token it used. Then you can now quantify how much resources that query is using. And then you can build the logic based on that. So this you can save it in a database or something and use it. Normally you want to be aware of this when you're using Azure AI or ChatGPT AI, because you want to control the costs. But for us locally, we don't pay anything, so we don't measure it. But because some of us want to measure it for other purposes, we have built the variables that come back from the local AI model. So every query can have its own analytics for you.
So an idea that sort of bridging on what you're already doing, it would be interesting if a pre-step to running these scripts would be actually running through each of those models in a series, one after another, to find out the most efficient one per task and then suggest that. That would be That would be interesting. That's
actually, we're already doing that. Let me show you. I have it somewhere. I think I have done that somewhere here. Multi-model. You see here, this automation is where I test multiple model in one go. So I'll just show you the principle. We will share this for you as well so that you can use it to figure out which is the best model. So what I've done here is that I created the list, and inside the list I put all my models. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 models that I want to test. And now this is a loop that will load that model. It will start with model 1, which is LLaMA 3.1, and then it will send the query, get the response, I save it, and then it does it with the second model, which is Gemma 3, and then it does it with Phi, and then I have the CSV, and then I can compare. So we have this automation for you. We will send it to you.
I figured you were way ahead of me.
We do a lot of, you know, we're artisans, we are hands-on. So all these things, we already doing that so that you guys can benefit from it or propose it to your customers. But you know, this world is so nice. You see the power and the availability and the quality of these local AI models. It's no more like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, they were shitty compared to ChatGPT. But right now, it's competing with the proprietary models. So it's a very good opportunity for all of us if we understand this capacity that we have locally. So we can use AI in a professional way it's just your imagination, Ryan, because I can also use vision models. So vision models, they can generate images, they can take images, handle video, handle sound. So imagine what you can do in the media level as well. This is just the text, and already the text is so powerful, so valuable, I mean. Some more questions or follow-up? Ryan, does it first answer your question? Because I think you had more than one.
Hands up. Sam?
Yes, Sam is up, but I think, Ryan, you had more than one question.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I have some other thoughts and questions that sort of wander off into philosophy of where the value will be in the future, but we can talk about that offline.
Sure. I mean, if you want to share it with the community, it's also welcome.
Well, it's interesting to me how the models are becoming interchangeable. And so it's to me, forecasting ahead, that makes me tend to think a proprietary model might have less value over time versus the underlying data.
No, you're right. So I think what is important, Ryan, is that we have the total freedom to play around and choose the AI model that we want, that makes more sense for our business. So there are two cases where we use ChatGPT and we use also Perplexity. Sometimes we use them because when we tried the local model and we tried also with ChatGPT and Perplexity for a specific thing, Perplexity works better or ChatGPT works better. We also have with RTILA a ChatGPT command and a Perplexity command. So we can just use Claude, Perplexity. So we will use them, those models. But maybe we will only use them for 10-20%. Of our use cases. That means that 80% of our use cases, we do them for free locally. Does it guide a little bit more the approach?
Yeah, it does. It's just got me thinking about like skating to where the puck is going to be in terms of future value, right?
Yeah. Well, and remember, you can train your own model. So because now we have our own data on our own processes. And I can take Mistral, I can take LLaMA 3.2, train it on my data set to answer a specific work that is based on my company history. And now I use that model in my RTILA flows because that new fine-tuned model for my business knows how to read the resume much better than ChatGPT now because I trained it with my own data set.
So how does that, so that's part of where my mind was going. How does that translate in terms of the interchangeability of AI models moving forward, like to train on a current model?
Yeah, so let me show you.
Is that transferable into new models then, or
does
that require a new fine-tuning and new training, or what's that look like?
Let me show you. I hope it's not deleted.
It's there. Look down the page. You see it, third one down, is it not?
I don't know if... here, RTILA. So we push through of them. So we trained our own LLaMA 3.1. This one was just a basic test. And then we push it to Ollama, and now it's become available if you want to make it public. And now you download it, and now you can call your own fine-tuned model for your own automation. So that's all. If you don't want to publish it, you keep it locally, you put it on a folder where Ollama is, and now you can use your proprietary AI model that you fine-tune for your industry. This is like $1 million worth if you bring this to an enterprise. It's really the $1 million worth because nobody has that data. ChatGPT don't have that data. They can't mine your company data. So that's what we can offer to companies. We can offer them that, guys, we can help you structure your data, put it in a vectorial database. You run it for 1 year. Once you have 1 year, 2 years with 100 staff, thousands of clients, that data can train your own AI model. Now you have an AI model that does invoice VAT calculation. Now you can sell that AI model to accounting firms, to companies. You can sell the AI model itself.
So my question is in, like, that's fantastic and that's valuable, but almost like static data that has a shelf life, what would be the equivalent like when LLaMA 4.1 comes out? Because everything is accelerating in terms of compression of times and cycles and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So does that require a retraining on LLaMA 4.1 when that should come out? Or like, is there a shelf life to that training? And when new things come out, you know, just thinking about the evolution and cycle times of innovation, I guess is where my mind is at.
Yeah, I don't know how we call it in English, but you know, when you follow you always buy the latest computer, the latest phone, and you, I don't know how you call that, but you try to keep up with the every time changing. That's not
or the latest trend.
The latest trend. That's not good for enterprise level. So for our level, we trained LLaMA 3.1, which is like 2 years ago model. Because when you are in enterprise world, you don't need that volatility of new features, because it was, even if it's an old model, it was trained on your processes didn't change. The initial data set is the same. So it will perform for 10 years, 20 years the same. So what you can do is, if you have new data that changes the thinking process of the model, then you have to retrain your model, so we're not training the model, we're fine-tuning the model. There is a difference between training. Training is a very high level, very expensive. It costs tens of millions of dollars, 50, 100 million. It costs $100 million for OpenAI to train one model of their GPTs. It costs $100 million. So it's a big adventure. Or DeepSeek, it costed them 10 times less, I think, $40 million. Yeah. But still, it's $40 million. So we're not here, Ryan. We're not training a model. We're fine-tuning an existing model to work better in my industry. And that's doable in a couple of hours. If you have enough data set, we run it on our graphic cards. And the new computers that are coming, Ryan, the one that you booked, the new powerful, you can train your model in 24 hours of machine use, even if you have millions of rows in your data set. So fine-tuning models is already a reality we can do for our customers, and it will become cheaper and faster. So you could retrain your model once a year, once every 6 months, Ryan. Once you have new data that makes sense, you can refine-tune it. But if you have compute, if you have compute like that computer that is coming up with Dell or NVIDIA, you can refine-tune it even every week if you want, because you will refine-tune it in a couple of hours. Just maybe not every day.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for clarifying that.
Welcome. Pleasure. I think, Alan, you were waiting patiently. Are you still there? Maybe the time Alan joined us. So you see, if we go back to our data value chain, Ryan, that's why we put it here, niche LLM. That's what we mean here, is the highest value you can get out of your data is to create your own niche LLM. It's like as valuable, it's just before having AGI, general intelligence, if you have your own model in enterprise context. Alan, please come in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Excellent. I have several questions that have just been festering here since I've been listening to you and Ryan and Eli and guys talk. So, for example, we were talking about various LLMs, ones that give you different outputs. Now, let me ask you a few questions. One, does it work to have an aggregator that you subscribe to that automatically gets the one response and shoots it out to all these LLMs at one time? And then the other question I had was, are you tracking the responses you get to see which one gives you better for phone numbers versus better for this type of input versus that, and keeping those notes that to share off of that? And if so, is it something that will be universal, or is it just an output happen to be that way for you?
Yes, I got the first two questions, and I think the last few seconds there were some mic issues. But let's start with the first question. Is there a way to aggregate the models, right, Alan?
Yeah, there's aggregators already out there
Yeah.
where you can just put in one input and you get all these outputs from all these various different LLMs
Yes.
automatically. There's a bunch of aggregators
Yes.
that do that. So I'm saying,
Exactly.
is there a way for us to tie into that versus loading one, getting that, saving it, loading another?
Yeah. No. So
You know what I'm trying to say?
No, definitely, Alan. And you brought an important point that gives me an opportunity to specify what is our mentality, guys. So what you're talking about, Sam, is the modus operandi for personal AI use, like let's say consumer level or not enterprise level. Or I'm not saying levels in judgment, but mode. Let's
No, I
say
understand.
yeah, consumer mode or personal use. You have these models that can send the same query to Claude, ChatGPT, many models, and then you choose the one. So that is good for personal use, but that is not good. Is not good for enterprise use, because enterprise use, you need to set standards. You need to set the data structure. So you need to select the best AI model before you start that flow of data. So it's not about technology capacity. It's about strategic. The strategy about the business data, and you can't risk on every query to ask 3, 4, 5 models on every query, because sometimes this model will take it, sometimes this model will be better, the other one better the next week. It will just confuse the hell out of you, and you want predictability. So that's why we are using in our method, before this specific flow that deals with this specific industry data, let's say pharma data, which model is the best, and I'm going to lock the model to the task, and it's a one-to-one. Now it's predictable. So that's the way to do. So in our context of data enterprise mentality, you do not want to do A and B testing during the flows. You want to do the A and B testing before you choose the model. Choose the model and lock down a model to a flow. So that's the way that is better for us.
Okay, so then the idea is to first, like you said, do all your testing up front and say, okay, this is the model that works best for my particular data set and data type. So this is what I'm going to just go with.
Exactly.
And lock it in.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then you also mentioned with Ryan's question about refining or fine tuning rather the data. How intricate of a process is it? I know it takes a long time and a lot of money to train it, but the fine tuning, specifically when models are coming out like every other week.
Yeah, that's
fine tuning is this fine tuning process.
It's actually very easy and cheap. It's like virtually free.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that. We fine tune. So that's why we did this program. Is that before you can fine tune, you need a data set, and then you need a data set that is configured for fine tuning, and that's what we've built RTILA for. We pivoted to build RTILA to scrape the data, enrich the data, format it, make it available for an AI fine tuning. That's the end game that we're looking at with RTILA. So we are just at the beginning. We are here on the bottom left. And training our own LLM will be at the end of our program. Yeah.
That's about a whole year, you just say?
About a year, about 9 months. It depends how much, because you want to incorporate consumer data into your training model. You want to see how. So you raised a good point, Alan. You said when my AI is creating, for example, communication messages, I want to see if the LLaMA 3.2 does better messaging than Mistral.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that you build in your business logic, and you build in your automation. Send 10 with Mistral, 10 with LLaMA 3.2, and 10 with 5.4. And then it's not the AI model that is going to listen and wait for the answer. It's your flow in Directors or in PostgreSQL. Then we will see who responds better, and then we send the data that we gathered back from the analytics to the AI model, or even we do it manually, and then we figure out which AI model does the kind of text that gives us the best conversion ratio. So it's not the AI does it all alone. It's we prepare the data. So you have to use the AI in a very narrow context in enterprise mode. You give it a task, it gives you an output. You stop. Then Further down the chain, you give it another task with another data, you get another output, you stop. That's the difference between using AI in enterprise and using AI in a personal way. In a personal way, you can do a soup when you chat with ChatGPT. You can talk about this and then jump to this and then, you know, and it goes into every direction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
which is very useful. But you have to like just think a little bit differently when it comes to corporate data. Corporate data, you have to really go like sequential. That's the best way, because you want to ensure predictability, control, standardization, measuring the data and analytics, and that's the best way.
And it seems to me that once you do that, you're going to want to stay locked into that model, regardless of the newest and the latest and the greatest. Say, for instance, another DeepSeek comes on and able to do things 10
Yeah.
times faster. Is that a reason to jump ship, or do you stick
No,
with the old faith, tried and true?
there is less reasons to jump ship, and you can delay your jump ship until there is really a critical innovation that requires that you refine tune your model. But let me give you an example. If you have an airline company, the data and the processes, they haven't changed in the last 20 years. You know, the way you book a flight ticket and you board the plane. So if you fine tune a model for pre-booking, you can use it for 50 years, you know, unless there is a critical change in speed or precision. So an AI model could have a lifespan of a fine-tuned AI model in an enterprise, in a regular enterprise, can easily have a 10 years lifespan without being fine-tuned again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I've never heard that before.
No, because it's used in a specific context for a specific task. So look at it this way. Instead of having one general AI model like ChatGPT in an enterprise, you're going to have 50 small models. One AI model trained on accounting, one AI model trained on drafting communications, one AI model trained on analyzing images, one AI model trained on analyzing resumes. You know, you're going to have 10, 20 small niche LLMs. And each one of them are going to be individually very resilient because they are very specialized. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Now, my other question too, an offshoot from that, is in the event that you did have this game change, kind of like what DeepSeek did when it first came out of China.
Yes.
Everybody's jumping ship saying, "Let me get on DeepSeek. Let me get on DeepSeek. Gotta do this. Gotta do it. Oh my! Look how deep the chain of thought. Look at it response. Look at it go. Look at it go. Wee. So the question becomes, if there was such a model that would come along, would we be able to do a DeepSeek? By that I mean, would we be able to take the old model like DeepSeek did and just kind of benefit from what that model went through and just build on top of it?
Yes, so very good. You see, you raised a very important point, and let me answer it in a sentence. It's not about the AI model, it's about the data set. It's the data set, and that's why we are so focused on the data, guys, because actually we are model agnostic.
You keep saying that, I love it. Go ahead.
It's not the model, it's the data set. If tomorrow a new model comes and I own the data set, I can fine tune that model for my data set. Boom, now I have DeepSeek doing that same thing. So you can make abstraction of the AI model, and as soon as there is an AI model that gives more value, because you own the data set, you can fine tune it tonight and have it ready tomorrow. Yeah, so data set. That's what companies like OpenAI and Claude, that's why they spend a lot of money in buying data sets from corporations, because they need data to train their AI models. Yeah. And the data set is basically a big JSON. It's a big JSON file that we will teach you guys how to generate that with RTILA.
Okay, now that gets me back to my other question with my video friend.
Yes.
And getting the data from the video versus storing the video, because those videos are very, they're like
heavy,
3 or 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And so will we be storing the videos and then, or just extracting metadata and that sort of thing from it to the JSON file? And how does that actually work?
So that's a very good point, and it can bring huge savings to companies like that. So what we advise is that you keep the videos on a local disk or a local computer where it's very cheap. You use RTILA to send the video or the sound files to a local AI model to get the transcription. That means that you convert the knowledge spoken into text. And like you said, now you create metadata, you put it in the database, and in the database, in the document table, you have the local path to the actual video on that local computer in case we need it again. So this way, your online SaaS is very light. It doesn't need to carry the videos because it has the metadata, it has the JSONB, and it has the vectorial image of the semantics. Remember that we will vectorize images and videos. So we will have a binary text data that we will put in PostgreSQL. So this will alleviate a lot of companies from paying expensive hosting fees for video and media. It's a huge burden and cost on right now. If you store your videos with Azure or AWS, just the storage of those videos will probably cost you $1,000 a month. Even if you don't even use them, nobody watches them. But they take so much space. So we can save that money. You keep the videos where they are. You extract the data with RTILA and the local AI model. And that's usually enough for 90% of the cases. Maybe in 1 year, we realize that we missed some stuff in the video. We can again send the video to the local AI model with a different prompt to extract whatever we missed from that video or sound file. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. I was just trying to just visualize what it would take.
Yeah, I mean, as we go, we will do some...
turn it into actual report, because that's the output is the report. You know, the human is right now spending, several hours of just looking through the whole footage, recording, making notes and that sort of thing, and then finalizing a report. Now we're talking about AI-ifying this whole process.
That's right. But the intermediary step here, Alan, the most important here is to convert all our files, PDF, images, videos, sounds into text data so that it can go to the database. That's what you need to focus on. How can I convert everything into text and I organize it in my structure in my database? And what I cannot semantically recognize right now, I do a vectorial, I vectorize that image and I save it also inside my database, because then I can query this database. That's the key for all businesses, is how can you move everything into the database that is both metadata and vectorial data, the best of both worlds.
Right. Now that vectorial data, is that very expensive? Well, is it big?
Not so big. It's 10 megabytes for, let's say you vectorize an image or a PDF, an A4 page PDF. It takes 10 megabytes of vectorial data, and we can still compress it.
But what about a 3-hour video?
3-hour video, you don't vectorize the video itself. You just you extract the first you extract the sound and you transcribe. Now transcribed text out of a video is going to be 500 kilobyte file, maybe 1 megabyte for the test transcription. And then what you usually do for a video is that you take screenshots of the video every minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
And those get vectorized?
Yeah, and then you vectorize the screenshots, because every screenshot will capture one of the scenes, and that will be less costly than vectorizing video, which we don't have the hardware for that yet. It's a humongous hardware to vectorize video. But you can vectorize 100 screenshots of that video every 2 minutes, for example.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the key.
Cheap.
That's much cheaper, much accessible, and that's the way to go. And a video is actually images. It's just 30 images per second. It's the frame rate.
Yeah, frames per second, right?
It's a frames per second, so you just need one frame, and you just need the next frame when the video changes. So actually you could have just 60 images that could cover the 3 hours of video, if there is not too much changes. So we will reach that level, Sam, when we go into enrichment and media. So I'm just throwing at you the broad solutions or the broad approach to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because he met with me right as this call was about to commence, and I had to bid him adieu so I can join the call, and so this was fresh in my mind. It's the reason I'm asking so many questions.
No, it's good, because we need to know which things we are able to deal with right now, or what is our program focused on right now is text files extracted, structured, enriched into text into a database. That's what we need to do for the next 2-3 months, that you guys can pick up this knowledge. Once you pick up that knowledge, we will start to do vectorization. We will start to vectorize images or whatever and add the vectorial data to our database. But if you try to do too much at the beginning, you will be shooting like in too many directions, and our brain and our companies will not be able to absorb all that.
So do you think I should hold off on this project that I'm helping him with, because he wants it kind of quickly?
I think you can do the text, the sound transcription. That is doable right now, because that sound to text is very cheap and can be done with local AI model. But video vectorial embedding or doing the images and then vectorizing them, don't do it now, because we don't have yet the structure and the knowledge and the tools.
Will we still be able to produce the reports for him though without
I think
that?
yeah. I think if he speaks, if he's speaking about everything that he does, you're gonna extract that. Yeah,
he is, and he's showing it.
Yeah, so I think it's doable with the voice, and as soon as you will be technically hardware and technology-wise capable of vectorizing the video, he can come back to it in 1 year and get even more context and more meaningful data out of the same media. But I advise you to limit yourself to voice or sound, transcribe to text. This we can deal with at this stage of the program. We can deal with this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is great stuff, Mohammed. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's already a lot, you know. If we help companies extract all their PDFs and images and just bring all that data to a database, and now it's available through analytics, that's already a huge gain.
It is. It is. They're sitting on top of a gold mine and they don't even know how to access it. And that's what we come in.
That's exactly the sentence we want to have as a marketing is, guys, if you're a company that has 10 years of history and 10 staff, you already have gold data as gold, or gold as data. I hope it answers your questions, Sam, Alan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent. Great, guys. I think this time we had more time for questions, which was the initial objective, that we interact more than what I talk alone. So please don't hesitate. If anything that was not covered in terms of what you guys have in mind in 5 years, 10 years, or even challenges that you have in your companies, we can look at them.
Can I just ask one more question?
Of course.
It's bugging me. It's bugging the hell out of me the last 10 or so minutes.
Yes.
About this training our own data set, the AI.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got the old LLaMA of 2 years and the new one of 2 years,
yeah,
would there be a difference if we trained it with our own data? If not, why? And if, why?
Okay, let me understand the question in a different way.
Okay, let me read it. So
yeah.
For efficiency,
yes.
So we want to be consistent. We want to stay with something that's going to go with us. So you're using something 2 years old.
Yeah.
So why not train it? I mean, I can understand you've been doing this for some time, so it makes sense to stay with what you've already built with, and it works for you. Yeah. If we're starting off from fresh,
yes,
why not use the latest one and build it with our own data?
That's right. Yeah.
Use something older.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So would we do that?
No, that's what you do. It's just that we started experimenting with fine-tuning 1.5 years ago. That's why at that time it was LLaMA 3.1, and we kept it because it was just for demo purposes. But yes, on the day that you're having your data set ready, you choose the most appropriate model, and you fine-tune that specific model because it will give you the best output. Yeah. But even let's say now we trained an AI model, an LLM from 2 years ago. If we see that a new LLM is really having like a new functionality and so on, then because we own the data set, it's not a problem. I can fine-tune it again over the weekend. Even if I have a gigantic data set, just a couple of days, and I can fine-tune it again. Yeah, this is not yet known by companies. Companies don't realize that they can do that. Yeah, so we can bring this to the market.
Thanks for asking that, Eli. That corrected something I heard earlier wrong, so appreciate that.
Yes. Yeah, Kim, anything on your mind? Any potential you see or questions? If you're still here, Kim, I can't see the list, but
Oh yeah, no, I'm still here. Again, I think with everybody else, the potential is vast and opportunity is plentiful. Just really for me, again, not an excuse, but just my implementation plan, right? Just in terms of implementing it for my use case,
Mm-hmm.
it's the only thing that's really left, right? So, but apart from that, again, I'm excited like everyone else to get the ball rolling. So
Yes.
yeah.
I think your instance of your VPS with the directors and the PostgreSQL is coming up soon. If it's not this week, it's going to be early next week. We are
Wonderful.
catching up to the delivery, so you will start to you can start to put data in that database.
Perfect.
Yeah, Eric has already started. So Ryan also yours is almost ready. Yeah, so slowly what we are talking about in our sessions is going to become a hands-on reality for you guys, and I think that's what is important, is that we immediately put this into how you call it? How you call put knowledge into practice in English?
That's correct.
Yeah, like immediately, like guys, you go and put it into practice, then we can help you correct, enhance our content and enhance our commands. Alan, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Gosh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yes.
Oh crap! Sorry. Oh man.
That's coffee
I
time.
was about to spit it out, and I forgot it.
Alan, was that my
So
fault? Did I out something and then it set you off? Did it?
I'll try to think of it in the next couple of minutes if
Yeah,
you're still
sure.
on.
No worries.
Eric's got something to say in the meantime.
Yes.
Eric?
I'm thinking about Alan. Sorry. So confusing.
It's contagious.
It's contagious, yeah.
God.
Sorry about that, Eric.
No, now I'm all messed up too.
I think we reached our context window of our brain.
Oh yeah, I remember. Sorry, I remember. Mohammed, is it possible for the next upgrade, like, I don't know, I have never seen it before, but is it possible to make it accessible to downgrade the version in the studio itself? Like,
In the
if
studio.
you do the 7.1 again, the new one, or 7.2, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you have a project, an old one that you made or I
Yeah.
made, whatever, in version 7.0, and it doesn't work properly in 7.1
Yes.
or 7.2, that I could just downgrade the project to a 7.0.
Yeah, you can already
version.
actually. You just reinstall the version 7 or 6 point something, and it will pick up that project and run it as in the. You just don't delete your database. Don't uninstall RTILA. Keep it installed, and you can switch versions, and it will load the same projects.
No, so I have 1.7.0, 1.7.1, and then I
You
can
just reinstall
double-click
7.0 and run the 7.0 projects with 7.0. When you finish, reinstall 7.1 or 7.2 and run. Yeah, you can do that between the 7. So you have to do it inside the main mother version. Between the 7 versions, you can switch down and up.
Yes.
Between the 6 down and up, because there is a breaking change between 6 and 7. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
I think I remember now.
Yeah, Alan.
Mohammed,
Yes.
I was just going to ask you, how much later are you going to be up? It's probably getting pretty late there, and I'm still at work for another 2 hours. I was going to see if I can get you up in 2.5 hours or so, if you're still up. Or is it too late for you?
That would be a bit late because it's 11 p.m. for me here. It's gonna be
Woo, never mind.
almost 11 p.m.
I don't know how late. I know it was pretty late. Okay.
No worries.
I'll
We
work
try.
something out.
Yeah, please. We can follow up maybe tomorrow or something. No worries. No problem for
Excellent.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, I think we've done quite a nice extension into questions. Cyrus, welcome and please come in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, good.
So
Good.
what I was thinking about was there seems to be a lot of people who are going to be doing like smaller projects or like side things once in a while, and there's going to be a lot of data sets. And I was wondering if there was any way we could structure it so we can share those. kind of like GitHub repositories for whatever use. Like, so you can put it out there if you want to, or if you don't, you don't have to. But with the community, so that we can
Yes.
just pick up each other's data sets if we need them.
Yes,
I
very
was
good
wondering
question.
what you thought about that.
No, I think last week or the week before I said it. I didn't really insist on it, but I said we're going to add a new category of downloads on rtila.com/downloads, which will be data sets.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, so you can download existing data sets. Some will be for free, some will be paid, because we all scrape data from left and right, and there's no point to rescrape it again. So we're going to open the category data sets, and we're going to put, so we scraped already some data from Y Combinator startups. There's 5,000 startups with their people. We will make it available for free so that you guys don't have to scrape Y Combinator again. And then you can, for example, Cyrus, if you're scraping data on a regular basis and there are updates, then we should pay you. Even if it's like $1 a month, $5 a month for that data set, you should monetize that and make it available for the community. Anyway, for me to run it again, I need to monopolize my computer for 10 hours. So I prefer to pay you $1 a month. And if we are 100 or 1,000 doing that, you know, you can monetize your data sets as well. That's our objective.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I just think it'd be really powerful. I mean, if this entire community just started putting out their data sets, that'd be super helpful.
No, that's the objective. Even we discussed with some of you guys privately to together build our own Apollo, our own little Apollo internally as a community. Because we grab data left and right. Yeah. No, definitely, Cyrus. You will be in. Thank you for the question.
And where would that be housed at?
Sorry, Alan?
Where would that be housed at? Where would we house that repository?
So we're thinking to create a very powerful server with a big database so that we can, and then create a standard between us on how we push data. So maybe in a couple of months, we will try that out. So anybody who has data sets that they want to share in the community, we have in our system a way that we can co-monetize together the data sets and split commissions between us depending on who is contributing. So we're thinking on that kind of community built data set that we then rent as a subscription to companies, and we split profit between all of us who built that data set. That's the idea. We don't know yet exactly how to do it, but our billing system has that already for templates, and we can modify it to get it to work for data sets.
Okay, I heard you a little while ago mention about Y Combinator data. What type of data do they have on there?
It's like the company name, the company logo, the current valuation, the list of founders, their industry description. It's like some basic B2B data that you can use for outreach because you get the founders. There is plenty of data that we can share. There's a lot of data from Google Maps. There's a lot of data from Trustpilot that we will push as well there. It's just that we spent a lot of time on building the digital infrastructure to host data, but soon we will go back to hardcore scrapping, all of us.
Good deal.
Yeah. My tummy is starting to speak. It's coming up with some words. So I think I need to, if you guys don't mind, if we covered all the questions, maybe Eli, we can say a happy end of day and happy evening to everyone. Unless I missed something, I don't want to jump a question.
I think we've been well served.
Yeah, I think we can let him eat with his daughter and his family. What do you think, team?
Absolutely agree.
He's earned his meal.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think a round of applause for this man. He makes it sound so easy, even though it's challenging, and he gives as much, which is ridiculous, and all hours of the day. And Mohammed, we salute you, man. Thank
Eli,
you.
no, thank you for helping, and everyone actually. And please go to rtila.com/community, which is really reserved for our agency program. Download this template that I shared, and then ask questions if you want. That's where we will support you. But welcome to using AI automation. And now we're starting to use it hands-on. So welcome to this world.
And I'm looking forward to us sharing that data. It's a good thing that he came on and said about us sharing the data and just share our knowledge. I think by combining together, be that data, knowledge, and help, just like Tanel, you've got skills when it comes to sales. Other people have got skills with technicalities. There's no reason why we can come together and help each other in our markets to go forward. So we're more stronger as a bigger team than individually, just like anything in life, right?
And we can resell each other's outputs in different regions and different customer base. So let's promote our various businesses. We optimize them with AI automation, and then we co-promote.
Totally.
Superb.
And with that said,
yes.
Has anybody got any last questions, which we hope you haven't because he needs to eat. But if you do, say away. No more? Okay.
Good night, guys.
Right. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
And
Good night. Thank
sayonara.
you, guys. Sayonara.
Bye.